This isn't any old election. This is a high-stakes, high-risk election.
I care and I feel engaged, frustrated.
There are false promises you get from David Cameron.
They cannot win the election on their own.
You know, it's like kids in the playground.
I don't believe anything any of them say.
I think this time there's a lot more uncertainty for the British people.
As the United Kingdom prepares to vote, everyone expects that either the Labour or Conservative leader will end up at 10 Downing Street.
The next Prime Minister walking through that door will be me or Ed Miliband.
What nobody knows is how exactly they'll get there. Voters are expected to deliver what's known as a hung parliament. That means it's the smaller parties that may decide who wins.
It seems that nobody can quite get the whole lot. They've got to pair up with this person, pair up with that person.
And as Cameron and Miliband look for allies, here's who to watch.
This is what we will set out to do.
The Liberal Democrats have traditionally been the UK's third party. They are currently part of a coalition government with the Conservatives, also known as the Tories. But power has not been kind to them.
I think, frankly, this coalition government has become an excuse for broken promises.
They gained seats in 2010 largely by promising not to raise university tuition fees. But that changed once they partnered with David Cameron and the Conservatives' austerity agenda.
I, of course, famously, infamously, couldn't put into practice my party's policy on tuition fees. There was no money left.
I feel slightly sorry for the Liberal Democrats. What's happened to them is an illustration of how immature we are in this country politically, how we aren't able to deal with the idea of compromise.
The Liberal Democrats are predicted to lose half their seats this time around, but they could remain significant if the election is close. Ideologically, they could end up in either camp.
So you're going to have to choose, like you did last time, who's going to have to work with whom.
I'll fight for the little man, for the little woman. I'll fight for this country.
UKIP, the UK Independence Party, is another player. They were founded in protest against the European Union, which mandates open borders between member states.
As members of the EU, what can we do to control immigration? Let me tell you, nothing. Nothing.
Although the most generous predictions give UKIP fewer than 5 seats, they've already given their support to the Conservatives, who are promising a referendum on EU membership.
There would not even be a discussion about a referendum if it wasn't for the rise of UKIP.
UKIP is small but vocal, and they face a lot of opposition.
I'm not a big fan of them, so I'm pretty sure a lot of people are not.
The Scottish National Party, or SNP, is the third force to watch. Because of their strength in Scotland, they're likely to control a sizable number of seats, and they've already offered their support to Labour.
So that's my offer to Ed Miliband. If he's prepared to be better than the Tories, then I'm prepared to work with him to allow him to replace the Tories.
I think the Scots can teach the English a thing or two about how to run the UK.
And that is something I think very deeply concerning to a lot of English voters. They're very, very worried about the Scottish tail wagging the English dog.
Ed Miliband has so far refused to offer any sort of deal.
I mean, I respect your views that you want to break up the country, but that's not my view. That's why I'm not going to have a coalition with the SNP.
We'll see if that pledge sticks after votes are cast and Labour tries to form a government.
Whatever differences you have with me, surely they are as nothing to the differences both of us have with the Tories.
There are a couple of other parties allying themselves with Labour, Plaid Cymru and the Green Party, but they're only expected to control 4 seats between them.
Personally, I felt less certain this time round than I ever have before about who I should vote for.
With so much in the air, the predictions for this election are all over the place.
I'm sure Labour will probably win.
Conservatives will win.
Coalition of some sort.
After the results are in, the parties will meet amongst themselves to see who can create a government that can survive a confidence vote in Parliament. If not, the only option may be another general election.